Hello and welcome to The Next Big Star. I'm your host, James Kelly, and my co-host is Ninan.
The Rosa.
All right, there.
I'm now going to be the voice after you.
Ninan Vivedo Rosa.
You got it. See?
And our guest today is J. Eugene Rich.
Hello.
Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay, all right. And you were on another show here today with Ninan.
Yes.
Yeah, you've just been on
So you're
Vegas
just gonna
Live
be
with
I know,
Nina.
right?
Everywhere today.
Everywhere.
Today.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about Eugene.
Me. Yeah.
J. Eugene.
J. Eugene Rich.
Okay.
Jay.
Well, it's the short for Jerome Eugene Richardson.
There we go,
Okay.
Jerome.
Right.
So
Okay.
can I call you Jay or Jerome?
You can call me Jerome if you want.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we'll
yeah.
say Jerome.
Okay.
So Jerome, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I recently moved back here from L.A. for the third time now, last year. And, while I was in L.A., of course, I was pursuing entertainment. Moved there in 2003 from Atlanta. And, just started pursuing acting at first. And then from there, I was an extra, like a lot of people out there. You start as an extra, you have to learn. So I did that for a while. That was my full-time gig, when I hit the ground in LA.
That pays quite well, doesn't it? You can get a job
Well,
every day.
You can, and I did, because that was the only source of income that I did have.
Yeah.
So it was a
Pretty
real
cool.
job for me.
And
yeah.
you learn the business as well.
You learn the
Yeah,
business,
pretty cool.
the ins and outs.
Jobs.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And so I got my first, I guess, major extra gig on a film called The Terminal, which was directed by Steven Spielberg.
Wow.
And it starred Catherine Zeta-Jones and Tom Hanks.
All right.
And I was able to get my SAG eligibility from that movie. So, it takes 3 SAG vouchers to become eligible to join the union. Well, the first 5 days, the first 4 of the 5, I was able to get my SAG vouchers. So I still haven't joined, but you're always eligible no matter what. I just never rush to join. Because a lot of people, they'll join too soon, and then, of course, they pigeonhole themselves. They can't get out of the situation where they can't do non-union work, but then they don't have enough credits to do the union work. So
Right.
they get stuck. It happened to a friend of mine. And it was a really good experience. Steven Spielberg's, his whole crew was nice, like he is, And when that man says we're ending at 7 o'clock, we're ending at 7 o'clock.
Absolutely.
It's not 7:01. Okay,
Right.
that's how he
Good
is.
guy.
Yeah,
Great
he
guy.
is great. He's super nice. I mean, he even kind of like chose me to have like a featured role because I was one of the Border Patrol officers that arrested one of the main characters speaking with Tom Hanks. So it was like I was in that scene and I was actually kind of trained on how to arrest someone. So that that was really fun as well. And I got to work with other artists like Cedric the Entertainer. I was on a film of his directorial debut as well. I wasn't in it per se, but I was like working behind the scenes because of Kel Mitchell, who I met. It's funny how you meet people because I was able to work on Cedric's movie because Kel Mitchell, who's like was on Nickelodeon, Kel Mitchell, Kenan and Kel, all that, Good Burger, all those things, and I was able to meet him because I interned at Dr. Phil season 5.
What did you do
Wow.
on that one?
So I was a PA intern.
Okay.
So PA, but it wasn't like the kind of PA like grunt work you would do in a movie. This was like on set studio PA, so totally different.
Awesome.
You get spoiled that way, trust me. So I was working there as an intern, but I also got paid to be a transcriber. So a lot of videos that came in, we had to transcribe them or whatever. And so that's pretty much how I kind of met people through other people. And from there, I just kind of took all of that knowledge, and as I was explaining to you earlier, I did my own talk show. It was called H2O, Hosting Hollywood to Others back then. This was way before YouTube was big. It was like YouTube would allow you to have like 5 minutes or
Yeah.
something of video,
Yeah.
little snippets, right? And then from there, I also had created my own game show, which is called Karaoke Hollywood. I would hold auditions all over the city, and then have people voted onto the show, and then had judges, and it was give away prizes and all that kind of stuff. So I really did a few things. I guess I was maybe I guess they say is ahead of your time or whatever, so to
So
speak.
how did you make that decision to come to Las Vegas, though?
Well, it was cheaper.
The cost of living was a
Right.
lot cheaper.
So the
Save on rent.
Right.
Yeah.
So the first time I came here in 2014, I stayed for a year. I hated Las Vegas. I was like, it's hot. I hated this. I don't want to live here. I went back. I came back again in 2016. Then I stayed for like 3 years up until in 2019, I traveled a lot for work, doing making money, of course, not film, but regular work. And then when COVID happened, I went back to LA, stayed there for a few months, 7 months, and then I came back here. Now I'm back here, So
Are you back here for good now? Are you?
I'm here. Well, I mean, I have an apartment, so at least my lease is
It
up.
seems like you're going back and forth
I know.
to LA and Vegas,
Vegas.
which is fine. 'Cause a lot
Yeah.
of people do that.
Do that,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
Mhm.
people do that.
They
So
do.
I want to back up a little bit.
Yeah.
People like to know about who we have on the show.
Yeah.
So where did you grow up?
I grew up in a place called Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
Savannah.
Yes,
Right.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
And that's where I was born and raised, and went to all of my schools. And when I was
Used to go to Tybee Island a lot.
Tybee Island, yeah, that's the dirty Atlantic Ocean. That water
It's
is
a place
so
you don't
brown,
go.
Yeah.
right? It's very
They
brown,
have a great
but it was a great beach. Yes, yes, yes. And then when I was about 20, my family moved to Atlanta. So I lived there for about 8 years, and then after my mom passed, I just decided I'm just gonna go to L.A. My brother, I have an older brother. He has kids. He has a family, wife. So me, I just felt like, well, there's nothing left here for me. So on a whim, I just kind of went to
So
L.A.
your brother still lives in?
Yeah, he still lives
I
in.
lived there 12 years.
Oh yeah? Oh
Yeah.
no, yeah, I lived there for 8. Yeah, I left in 2003.
I haven't lived there at all.
And
I love Atlanta.
It's
I
a
love
very nice
Atlanta.
city,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very nice city. Yeah, yeah, the bustling South.
So you're obviously not married and you don't have any children.
None of the above.
Yeah, none of the
Mm-mm.
above. So you have no responsibilities.
No, other
You
than
have-
myself.
You know what they call this as a woman? You have no baggage.
Right.
As a
Well,
woman,
that's
you
right.
have no baggage.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have- yes.
I can just get up and go, and that's exactly what I've done.
Well,
I
you've
can
been
just
doing
get up.
that,
Yeah,
haven't you?
yeah.
So when are you going to settle down, or when are you going to grow up?
I don't know. I don't know which one's gonna happen first, but I tell you, I'm an adventurous. I am like, my family never understood me. I mean, they never could understand how can you just get up and go to a place you've never been and live and pursue this dream. And I can't explain it. It's just a drive.
Oh, it's
like
fun.
a passion, that I just had to live. And I felt like when my mother was alive, I was like her baby. I was like her
Right.
little baby. And I mean, I was 28, 29 years old, and I would go and get my car fixed, let's say at Toyota, and she's calling Toyota to make sure I'm there. So I just felt like when she did pass, like I felt like she was just basically telling me to go and live,
Probably.
and that's what
She
I
probably
did.
was.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
just went on, and
Whether she did or didn't, you
yeah,
have.
I have, right, exactly. I just took it as that.
Jerome, I wanted to ask you about
Mhm.
SAG because I know a little bit about SAG and how it
Mhm.
works. But in Las Vegas, in Nevada, it's a
Mhm.
little different than LA. You can actually do non-union roles as well as SAG roles.
Well, okay, so first and foremost, the Nevada SAG is handled by LA SAG.
Okay.
Because there's not a Nevada SAG,
Okay.
technically speaking. So all of it is handled by LA. There are different regions, so different regions have different things. However, here's the thing. It's not that you can't, because people do. People do it to get work. So you will see a lot of SAG people work non-union projects. Technically speaking, they're not supposed to,
Right.
but people do it because they want to work. Whether it's money or not, they just want to work. You can become what's called, SAG Core. But once you become SAG Core, you can never go back, from my understanding, to being SAG. So like SAG Core allows you to work like independent, even non-SAG projects, but you can not go back, like you can never be SAG again per se. So you can work those projects because a
Yeah,
lot of
that's true.
main actors.
But there are ways around that, though. Like you can co-produce something, and as a co-producer, you can be on the set as a SAG actor, even if it's an independent film.
Well, but a lot of independent films also can get like right now in December of last year, they actually introduced something called the micro budget, which allows you to use SAG actors.
Uh-huh.
And that could be anywhere from $20,000 or less, right? It allows you to use SAG actors, so they don't get in trouble, obviously. So people are actually applying for those signatory projects. You have micro budgets, you have the low, ultra low, you have low, and so on and so forth.
Right.
But here's the thing: the reason I think it is important, is, as far as I'm concerned, for an independent producer or whatever to at least go for the modified or moderate low at $300,000 to $700,000, is because it allows your actors who are not SAG to become at least eligible or at least give out those vouchers. Anything lower than a moderate or modified, what they call it now, is not considered to be, it doesn't fall in those categories. So even though you can hire as many actors or whatever actors you want, those non-union actors will not be able to receive those SAG vouchers. Right. So.
Well, but when it comes to what you're talking about, when you're SAG eligible and you do the low budget films,
Yeah.
It's good though that they allow you to do the low budget films.
Well, yeah, because you're SAG eligible. You're not SAG yet. You're just
Yeah.
you can join at any point.
So what's not fair though is once you become SAG,
hmm
because we know that actors don't stay busy all the time.
Right.
That's just almost. There's
But-
so
Yeah.
many actors out there,
I know.
and there's only a few leads available.
Right.
We think when we see all these movies, all these actors and stuff, but there's just a
Yeah.
handful of people.
Yeah,
Really.
and only about they said 3 to 4% of those people even make $250,000 or more
Right.
of the
Yeah.
actors in general. But see, here's the thing about the SAG. The reason they have it set up that way is because if you work on a non-union set, the union cannot protect you because that's like you're not protected.
Okay, so it's all about the union.
It's all about
Yeah.
the union. It's all about being protected, just like any other
I'm a SAG
union.
member. I'm
Yeah.
a SAG.
And they protect you. It's like because if you're working a non-union set, they're gonna be like, well, we can't do anything because you chose to go into that set without our permission, of course, and without it following the guidelines, and so we can't protect you. It's all about protection.
So do you pay a union due every year?
You're supposed
yes,
to.
I always have.
You do.
Yeah.
Okay. And you pay a due.
No, because I'm not
You're
SAG
not-
yet.
you're
I'm
not
eligible.
SAG. Oh,
I
you're
can join any
eligible.
day.
I got you.
Yeah, I've been eligible since 2003.
So you're really in the great middle there.
Yeah.
Because you can do either one right.
Right.
now.
I had a friend. We both became SAG eligible the same time. They called us on the set. They're like, "You're Taft Hartley." Blah blah blah. Okay, great. Well, I had more credits than him, and mine weren't even major credits. Well, he had one church play, so he goes and decides he wants to just join SAG and AFTRA right there. And I was like, "Why are you doing this? Because you don't even have any credits." Well, guess what? He screwed himself because he couldn't work. He didn't have enough credits to be SAG, get on any films, but he also put himself in a position where he can't
got-
really work non-union because he's
non-union,
SAG.
Oh,
You
man.
jumped the gun. People think that because I'm SAG, it makes it harder for you to get work because you're right. You can't. Everybody can't go through the front
Well,
door.
also it all comes under a union. And when
Yeah.
you come under a union, there's all these rules.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but unions started in England years ago
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the docks,
yeah.
in the docks where they wanted to write for whatever they were, and wanted
Yeah.
their rights and everything. But being in a union is very difficult.
very difficult, yeah.
especially with the actors, because you
Yeah.
don't get any work.
You don't get
You're
work.
absolutely right, Jane.
Yeah.
You don't get any work anywhere.
Well, the thing
So-
is there's more independent films being produced today
Of
than there are
course.
in the studios.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're almost shooting yourself in the foot when it comes to availability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As an actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you take a SAG job, you could wait another month, several months,
Yeah.
or even a year
Yeah.
before you find another job.
Absolutely.
What are you
Absolutely.
going to do in between?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people a lot of independent producers should at least try to, apply for those signatory, even if it's a micro budget, at least the actor gets to work. And for the most part, most SAG actors will demand some type of compensation. You will pay them because you really don't have to pay your non-union people. I mean, technically speaking, you probably should, because I know when I did my project recently, I paid everyone, even the extras. I paid every single person because I know what it's like to be an extra, so on and so forth.
Not
so
get paid.
yeah, right, exactly. Or even have gotten paid before, because I never did. Once I got paid as an extra in L.A., I was like, I will not be an extra for free, because that's just how it was. But I paid my extras, and I paid every person that was on my set because I've been on films or I've been involved in sets here, and it's like people just use people to get whatever they want to get out of
There are
them. They
people
make
who
promises.
pay to be in a movie here.
Oh yeah, I was
What?
actually with a company that did that, and I felt it was the most unethical thing. I was like, they tried to put it in a way like, well, what you're doing is you're getting a picture, and we're doing this like casting event, and so we're putting it on the Eventbrite. You pay $100, and you're guaranteed a
And
role
we're
in this
going to
film.
put you on IMDb.
DB,
credit.
yeah, and it's like that movie
I've
is.
never
Yeah.
heard of
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's the new
That's-
thing in Vegas. As a matter of fact,
That's
even for
awful.
casting, they'll have what's called casting parties. You
Mhm.
pay to go to that casting
Mhm.
party, and you may or may not get cast.
Right.
But you pay to go to the party.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we're not.
So
We're
it's
doing
not-
productions too. We'll
right.
never do
I would
that.
never do that. It's unethical.
Well, no,
yeah.
that's unethical.
Yeah, I would never.
But that is the trend here in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
just
It
so you
seems to
know.
be. Yeah, I
And
know.
there's a lot of
Wow.
people where you pay big bucks to actually be in the movie.
Yeah.
So this is
And
a
the movie
big
doesn't
thing
even
to
go
know.
anywhere.
This is a
Yeah.
big thing to know
Yeah.
about all this. So
Yeah.
you're not a SAG, but you can be a
I
SAG
can anytime I
you
want to. Yeah.
Now here's the thing that you need to think about too. If
Mm.
you're paying to be in a movie,
Mm-hmm.
how much skin is there in the game for that producer? Because now, how they're making money off of you all,
Oh, yeah.
and you're paying for that movie to be made.
Mhm.
Where is the motivation to go out there and really sell it?
Well, that's the thing. A lot of them who are doing such, they really don't have the wherewithal and the information on how to even get it done. They don't understand they need a sales agent. They don't understand, like so many things that they cannot do. They cannot go to just drop it off at Netflix. Netflix won't even deal with any production companies or anything. You have to have an aggregator.
Right.
You have to have someone who has an insight to that place
Absolutely.
in order to do so. So they're just spinning their wheels and wasting your time and getting your money, and that's it. For me, even in my film, I know I have a crowdfunding going on, and I do have a 300,000. That's where I want it to be. I'm not going to rush it. That means that if I have to wait a whole another year until I get that 300,000, then so be it.
What is the film you're doing?
It's called Ed and Dan's Mazel Tov Adventure.
And it's quite funny. I saw the trailer.
You saw the trailer?
Yeah. Have you seen the
I
trailer?
haven't seen the
And I was in it.
I thought you're one of the leads. No, who's the lead? Who's the one guy that's the lead?
No, it's two guys. One of his name is Matthew Trudeau.
One of them has...
And one of his name is Stephen Delgado.
Okay, Stephen Delgado's Hispanic.
Stephen Delgado. And Matt,
Because I love there's one scene in there when they say, well, you're not white or whatever, but they reference the fact that you can get by with being this or
right,
that.
and she was like, well, you're not Indian, but, you could pass.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So it was funny because I wrote that film in 2010. And I wrote it during the time I was homeless. I was living in my van in L.A. The housing market crashed. I lost my unemployment and my apartment in the same week. I had a friend who kept saying, Jerome, you need to buy my van. And I was like, dude, I'm not trying to buy your van. I'm trying to find a way to pay my rent. And he was like, no, you have to buy this van. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I bought the van. Little did I know that next week that would be my home for 7 months. Okay?
Really?
We have a similar story, by the way.
Really?
7 months in a
You were
van.
Yes.
homeless as
For
well?
7 months living in a van here in the desert
Oh, God.
of Las Vegas.
Oh,
I hope
God.
it wasn't summertime.
It was.
Ooh.
It started in May and ended in like October.
Mine was April
Oh,
to
my
November.
November.
Yeah, April to November
Yeah,
for
actually,
me.
So you
April-
both chose
Actually,
the right month.
He's exactly
Yes.
right. April 9th is when the hammer came down on me. April 9th.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until November.
Mhm.
You're
So
exactly
So you chose
right.
those beautiful months
Yes.
to be homeless.
Yes, right.
Well, I didn't choose.
I didn't choose either. I was
It just
chosen.
happened.
I guess my card was pulled. It was like, your time, it's your turn. So
Yeah.
I did it, and it's like I wrote it. A friend of mine, she allowed me to stay in her apartment for 2 weeks while she went to Florida to visit some relatives. And so I took those 2 weeks and I just wrote every day. I went to sleep. I woke up writing that script. And it was
Yeah.
funny. I just kind of came up with it because at the time I was managing a young Jewish kid. And, he had a friend. And I just kind of liked their rapport and how they were with each other. And we had I got him on I think you're smarter than a fifth grade or whatever it was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I got him on that show, and I just
You
sat.
think you're smarter than
Yeah.
fifth grade.
And we're in a green room, and I just saw how they just had this rapport, and I just came up with this movie about these two kids, which they had never done any of this stuff. The movie is about these two kids sneak off from L.A. when their family goes on vacation to Hawaii. They rent a car, in in L.A., and the car is already stolen, the way they get the cars. And then when they get to Vegas, the car is stolen and used in the bank robbery. They end up in jail.
But they didn't know that.
They had no idea. In either way, they didn't know. And so they kind of meet this guy named Sweet Johnny who's in the jail, and like he's trying to like come after them.
Yeah.
But if you saw the trailer, you will see me in it. You just won't recognize me.
Okay. Who were you in the trailer?
I was singing. I'll just say that.
Okay.
If you saw the part,
I saw the
you
whole
saw
thing.
with the orange and everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were in
That's
jail.
you.
In jail. I was singing.
Well, that's the part. So they created a choir because you had to sing in jail.
Right, because there was talent night.
Yeah.
So
okay.
and they have all kinds. They have talent night. And so
In
I
jail,
just
they have talent
yeah,
night?
they have to
Oh,
keep them.
yeah,
They have all
everything
kinds of
is,
stuff.
yeah.
A lot of things you won't believe are made in jail. Like it's the things that we use outside of jail are a lot of them are made in jail.
Wow, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
So I had to come up with that part. The reason was because I wanted to use Aretha Franklin's "Respect" song, right?
Uh-huh.
And I called this lady in San Francisco, and she kind of like I asked her about licensing, and she said, "Drum," she said, "This song you do not want to even try to use. It's so expensive. It's more than your budget. It would not be worth it." She said because it costs more to use it in the as a trailer. And also, it costs more to use it, like, let's say, in the opening and closing credits than it would to actually use it in the movie itself. She said, don't do it. Just do something else. So I'm driving to L.A. and I'm like, okay, she broke my heart. What am I going to do? So I just had to come up with this song. I said, I need to write a song. So I wrote this song called Sweet Johnny.
Cool.
I recorded it on my phone. I talked to a friend of mine who's an engineer. I said, listen, I got this melody. I got this hook. Let's just do it. And when we shot it, I didn't even have the lyrics down. The night before I wrote the lyrics. It was simple lyrics, but I was able to remember them a little bit. But I'm going to tell you, okay, this is what happened. I ended up doing drag in the movie. That was me.
That's hilarious.
That was me doing drag in the movie.
Okay.
And I had to have like 2 or 3 shots of tequila before went on stage to do it, but I did
you're
it.
funny.
I did it. Oh, and
Now,
that's a whole. It's a,
how long is this crowdfunding going on for? How many more
well,
weeks?
I think it's about 40 something days left, 45 days left. And the next week following, I'm going to be down on Fremont and also maybe on the Strip, trying to get my insurance and stuff together so I can actually literally have like some people in costumes and trying to do donations on the spot.
That's
Who
a
do you
great
want to for your
idea.
I'll help you with that.
Okay, but I haven't even decided yet because I don't know.
I can
Okay.
hook you up. I'll
Okay.
hook you up. So,
Good for
yeah,
you.
it's not as
Thank
expensive
you.
as you think.
Okay, yeah, I know. It just sounds
Yeah,
expensive because it's like
No,
$1
until
million
you go
here.
through
Maybe,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, because I've in my company, because
Mhm.
we do movies as well.
Right.
We've
Yeah.
gone through a couple different companies.
Mhm.
I found one. They don't tell you up front, but if you set things up in advance,
Uh-huh.
it's probably $100 more than if you just paid for 1 or 2 days.
Okay.
So I'll hook you up
Okay.
with that. I know how to play that game.
Okay, good.
So,
Thanks. I
yeah.
need that.
Yeah, and
It's all a
important.
big
I need that.
game,
Yes,
isn't
it
it?
is.
It
All
is
a
a
big
game.
money game.
Yeah.
Everything's a game.
Yeah,
Everything is
and
a
no
game.
one's going to tell you anything because they
Uh-uh.
want their commission.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
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 So you learn
Well,
as you go. I'll help you definitely with
thank
that.
you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the film, I also did like a short version of the film. It's like 19 minutes or roughly. So one of the perks is that if a person wants to see the actual short, if they at least donate like $100, they'll get to see the short as well. They'll get to download it and see it as well. So that's one of the perks. There are different perks, obviously, from $25 on up, but there are different perks, you know. So I just kind of have it like that,
Okay.
set up that way. Yeah.
Okay. So, and this sounds good. Do you have any connections yet with the distributor?
No, what I do have is that there is a guy from the Indie Film Factory. I forgot his Mark somebody or another.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's also, oh my gosh, Schwartz is Kelly Schwartz.
Yeah. So he did this like this seminar online where you could actually get all of the steps and everything. He helps you as far as getting to that point where when you're ready, you know, sales agent. He's a sales agent himself, and you know he gives you all the like the pitch deck and all that stuff that you need. So I'm going through that process now. As far as reading all the information and doing everything right, you know, yeah. So
Kelly
Wow.
can help you with that. If you go back to the Indie Film Factory,
Uh-huh.
when you're done, I'll bet Kelly will help you with that.
Yeah.
He'll at least talk you through it and introduce you to
right,
people.
right,
So,
yeah,
and he's a terrific
right.
person.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
you know,
I think that is his name, Kelly.
Kelly Schwartz.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
or somebody. Yeah,
Yeah.
there are like two
It's
people
not
there,
spelled
right?
Schwartz the way
Uh-huh.
you would think of
Uh-huh.
it, regular Schwartz.
Uh-huh.
It's
Pronounced
Schwarz,
Schwarz.
but it's pronounced Schwartz.
Schwarz.
Okay, gotcha.
But yeah, he's one of the owners of the Indie
Okay,
Film Factory.
gotcha. Okay, yeah. So,
Great guy.
but yeah, that's the next step.
That's a
I mean,
big
I am
help.
submitting
That's
to
a big
festivals.
help for
Yes,
you.
yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
And by the way, Kelly does a number of seminars when it comes to script writing, all the way into
Mhm.
getting your work into the hands of. So you might want to always go online and see what they're doing there next.
Okay.
So,
Right.
you know,
Okay. Gotcha.
But he'll help you anyway. But
Okay.
anyway,
Sounds good.
so,
Sounds good.
yeah.
Sounds great.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always gonna.
You always
in the
connecting
future, I will
people.
always, I will always hook up with Kelly going forward,
Mm-hmm.
rather than some of the people I've known.
Well, there's another, but there's
Don't
another guy there.
mention any names.
No, I won't.
His name is Mark, right?
Well, there's 3 people I think who
Oh,
own
okay.
the Indie
Okay.
Film Factory.
I think Mark is one.
Yeah.
He was the one who actually did the seminar or whatever. That's who I was. That's why I'm more familiar with him,
Mhm.
more or less. But I'll go through whoever.
Yeah, they just finished a film last year. It's an interesting story. They finished Abigail Haunting,
Mm-hmm.
and they were getting ready to take and release it to, I believe, to a couple of theaters
Mm-hmm.
to see how it was going to do. And then COVID hit,
Mm.
and then they worried about what they're going to do. And they went through a distributor. There's actually a company that's local. They're in
Okay.
L.A., but they're also local. They have an
Right.
office here. And that distributor said, well, let's put it on, and they went to like Netflix. They got
Okay.
it on Netflix.
Nice.
And I think they had something like 1 million downloads within a month.
Oh wow.
I believe that's right.
Yeah, yeah.
And then after it did a few months run with them, they
Mhm.
took it to like Amazon or vice versa.
Right, right.
But then they went to Amazon.
Because Amazon is easy to get on. They probably went to Amazon first and then
Maybe
Netflix.
Amazon
yeah.
first and then Netflix.
Yeah.
But then that whatever they did, it did just as well, if not better, than if it had been released to
Wow.
a theater.
Right.
So what looked like a horrible thing
Uh huh.
because of
Okay.
COVID,
Turn into a
everybody
blessing.
was home streaming.
Right. Exactly.
So
yeah.
it
That's the
turned
thing.
into a good thing.
Yeah, exactly,
You know?
yep.
So you never know in
Mhm.
life when you think, oh gosh.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, good
Right.
can come
it
out
can,
of
it
things.
can
Yeah,
always come
yeah.
out. You know,
Yeah.
the good things can come out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So-
Yeah.
I mean, I've submitted to Sundance, and I mean, I'm waiting to hear back from them. I submitted to maybe 2 more festivals through Film Freeway because you know it's a good tool to have, Film Freeway. But there are like tons of places, or I guess of these film festivals that are not really legit, or they haven't been around long enough. So it's like I don't want to just I got the best award for this, that, and the other thing from ABC Film Festival. It's like
All right. I want to go into that film Freeway because
Okay.
we talked. Everyone knows what Sundance
Yeah,
is. And they know what Tribeca is. They know all those. What's film Freeway?
Freeway is like the freeway to get you to the film festivals. Like a lot of the film festivals are kind of like on that site, and so you have a ton of them all over the world that are there that you can actually submit your stuff to, and they just give you all the pricing and
So it's just like in one place.
one place, right? It's like Expedia or something,
Mhm.
where all the
Right.
different
So one-
hotels, yeah,
And then the
One-stop
one stop
shop.
shop, yeah.
There's different categories.
Exactly.
Right? All the
Different
categories, yes.
many different categories. And
Yeah.
even Without a Box, I think Without a Box was probably there first, but I guess Film Freeway maybe kind of like surpassed them, so to speak. I don't know. But yeah, that's what it really
Well,
is.
I think that's a more you can remember that name a lot easier.
Yeah,
Film
exactly.
Freeway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that's how you get connected with all the now not every festival is there. For instance, I think Cannes is there, Sundance is there, and Sundance is actually still open, I think, for a while. But like Berlin and the different ones, like the big three out of the country, those are not on there. You know, yeah. But you can still submit to them directly, obviously. But they're just not.
But that's
on Film
certainly a
Freeway.
good place to start.
Yeah, it's a great
But
place to
don't a lot
start.
of these things cost money to enter?
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah. But you know the price. If you start it, like if you enter when it first starts, you get the lowest price ever. Yeah, it's only until it gets to the
6
end.
months in before
Yeah.
they come out, and then when it gets to the 2
So,
weeks or 4
yeah,
weeks,
then it
costs
goes
more.
up.
Yeah, it goes up a little. Yeah.
But I haven't paid more than $35 even with Sundance right
Wow.
now. Yeah, to submit to those films. You would think
I
it
know
costs
they're not
hundreds of dollars.
expensive.
Because I know
Yeah.
some used to be $75.
Yeah, some of them are still up there,
Yeah.
but I'm like, no. I mean, if
You don't
Sundance
need
is
those.
$35,
Right, yeah, absolutely.
right,
I've
yeah,
got to eat.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, Sundance is a big one.
But
so.
you got to always remember, you got to factor in being there too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so-
Well, I mean, you would hope that they invite you and pay for everything, right? But I mean, if Sundance chooses me, I'm definitely going. I mean, I don't care
If
who.
you're back in that van,
exactly,
you're going.
exactly. I'm going to get there, come hell or high water.
If nothing else,
Right.
hitchhiking a tent.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, I hear you. Exactly,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Well, what is the next project you're working on?
Well, to be honest with you, I have some things in the works. I have a few things that I've written down. I haven't really gotten them out yet, but I write down a few things. I just write down a synopsis of things that I want to do. But I'm one of those people that I try to put all my energy into one thing, so that I make sure that it happens. And when I feel like I've gotten enough of this, like a leeway, then I will start my next project. Exactly. So I just want to try to put all my effort, because sometimes I'm so used to just being scattered here, scattered there, and then I lose control and focus on everything. But there are some projects that I really have that I really want to do, even television stuff. That's really my strong point was television. But I just thought that film I could do it as well.
Is
So
also your strong point comedy? You
comedy
seem to
for
be-
me,
You
yeah.
seem to be a little bit gravitating towards
Yeah.
comedy.
I-
And, everybody wants a laugh.
Yeah, everybody wants a
something
laugh.
Different.
But they always said, and I was told that, but comedy is a hard sell, because comedy is subjective. You know what I mean? Like what you may think is funny, the next person
Someone
may
might
not.
That's
Right.
true.
But I always tell people, I said, it doesn't matter to me. I think that, everyone has an audience. You just have to find your audience.
Yeah.
And that's just it, because
that's
you'll see
true.
some things out there, you're like, what is this crap? But somebody's loving it.
Someone,
But
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
comedy is also very hard to write.
Yeah.
Because you could write something that appears to be straight, but getting the right actor
To portray
portray
it.
that,
Uh-huh.
that's the hard part.
Right.
that's what really makes
Yeah.
it comedy.
Yeah.
Is
Can the person
Can a person
take
do it?
on
Yeah.
how
And
subjective.
and that's why I had to even with my actors, like, okay, I need you to say it like this. Like, don't say it like that. It needs to be,
Right.
because this is how I wrote it. And so when people saw the film, especially that I did, I mean, they really laughed. I'm like, yeah, I want to see more of this, because it was crazy. It's kind of like off the wall. It's kind of like one of those off the wall kind of comments. Like, what is this? What is
It's
going on
definitely
here?
off the
Yeah,
wall.
It's definitely-
I
yes.
noticed that. So-
Very much.
Yeah.
That concert is going to be a mess when you see it,
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah. No, I like the whole concept of,
Yeah.
the movie.
Thank
It really is a good concept.
Thank you.
Especially with the Jewish twist to it.
Oh yeah,
So,
right.
you know,
Well, yeah, because
And-
there's the
and-
word in there, muzzle top.
Mazel tov. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Good
word
luck.
is in there,
That's
so
the
Yeah.
take on
that's
it.
Yeah.
not to, say, well, hang on a second.
Right. Yeah.
And then being in prison.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like,
I know.
crazy.
This makes no sense.
Yeah. And then the choir in prison.
Yes.
Like, really? Okay.
Dancers. You got
Yeah.
dancers. You got the
And then the
singing.
two guys are really innocent and oblivious.
Yeah,
Because they didn't do anything.
Didn't do anything.
You know.
They just
But-
got a stolen car,
They
right?
Yeah,
Which,
that was stolen.
By the way, driving here to work yesterday, on a side street just up the road here, a
Uh-huh.
block, there was an abandoned car in the middle of the road that had caught fire
Oh no.
in the middle of the road, and there was no police, nothing around. So I called the police,
Oh no.
and,
Oh,
and I
goodness.
said, "Do you know about this car?" "Oh yeah, the fire department's been there already and put it." I said,
Well, it's
"But
back.
it's to the side of the road." I said, "No, it's in the middle of the
The road.
road," and they didn't
And it's
tow it.
still on
And I
fire.
said, "No, it's in the middle of the road."
And it's burning.
so they, so they finally came and towed it away.
Oh my god.
But is that not weird? Or
That
what,
is
you know?
That is
crazy.
weird. That's what you call a hot car.
Right, exactly. Is
That's
that
definitely
right?
not Which I'm thinking it might have been.
Might have been, yeah. Like, oh, we got to burn this.
Yeah.
No
Get rid of
fingerprints.
this one.
Right.
Yeah.
No evidence.
Yeah. All right, so you're going to come back and see us in a
Yes,
couple years when
yes.
you're the big star.
Yes.
You sold the movies, and you're not going to
Absolutely.
forget who we are.
Absolutely
Oh, promise
not.
is promise.
Oh, promise is
Well,
promise.
I'm going to hold.
I
I
keep
will-
Come
every
on, Jay.
promise.
I will call you every day.
Please
and if you
do.
change your number, I'll find out what it is.
You're right.
And you're going
Or
to come
track
back and
you
talk.
down.
You'll track me
We will
down.
track you down.
I promise you I'll be back. I
Okay.
promise.
All right.
Didn't Schwarzenegger say that?
he
I'll be
did.
back. Yeah,
He did. He
that's
came
right.
back how many times? I think, I don't know.
He's
He
still
did.
doing
That's
it.
right.
He
He
did, exactly.
That's
There you
right.
go.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jerome, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you,
Where can
guys.
we learn more about you?
Well, you can go to. Where can you go?
Well, you can go to the funding site.
Yeah, you can go to the funding site exactly at indiegogo.com and just put in Ed and Dan's Mazel Tov adventure or whatever you want to do. It'll take any of those words, and I guarantee it'll pop up.
So the
You'll
name-
read my whole. You'll read everything about me too. My bio.
Under your name, it
Mm.
will be under J. Eugene Rich.
Well, when you go there, yes, you will see Jerome Richardson.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jerome
Richardson.
So,
Yeah, you'll see that. So that's my name too.
You've got
Yeah.
so many names.
Right.
I'm going to give you one advice.
Right.
Can you stick to kind of one name
Right.
so people can find
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean,
I'm working on the J. Eugene Rich. That's new now, so I'm trying to get everything over transition.
yeah,
All right,
transition
so
time.
that's what Ninon's going to
branding.
do.
Right.
Ninon is going to be Ninon.
Yes.
Not
I'm
Ninon
always-
du Verde Rosa, but Ninon.
Ninon.
See, now that he's got it right and said it right, now
Right.
he's going to call. Now he's got the whole thing done.
Right, he's
He
gonna
knows
call your
I do
whole
this on
name
purpose.
every day.
Yes, he does.
First, middle, and last. He's gonna say the whole name.
Ninon. Ninon
So-
du Verde Rosa. No, Ninon.
Ninon
Yes,
du Verde
James.
Rosa. Ninon du Verde Rosa.
He's got it.
Right. Yeah. But it's Ninon.
Ninon.
I love
Ninon.
Ninon. I love
Yeah.
this. My book, by the way, my book is going to be called Ninon. That's all.
Just Ninon.
Just
Okay,
Ninon.
Ninon.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
It
So-
could be. It
Nice.
should be just Ninon.
Ninon.
Just Ninon.
All right. Thank you so much, Jerome.
Thank you
being
guys
on
for
the
having
show,
me.
Yes,
and
thank you.
we
Great.
Really appreciate it.
Thank
And,
you
Good,
so
good
much.
Have you on
Thank
again.
you. All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Ninon.
Thank you, James.
Uh-huh.
James.
Bye-bye.
Everybody, thank you for watching.